Saint Nikiforos, the patron saint of diseases, was born in 1890 in the neighborhood of Kostoyanidis, Crete. His parents were simple and pious villagers who died when he was still a young child, leaving him as an orphan. At the age of 13, he left his home. His grandfather, who had undertaken to raise him, went to Hanya to work there. Then Nicholas began showing the first signs of Hansen's disease, also known as leprosy. The lepers at that time were isolated on the island of Spinalonga. Because leprosy was a contagious disease, it was treated with fear and concern. Nicholas was 16 years old when the signs of the disease became more conspicuous. He left on a boat to Egypt in order to avoid being confined to Spinalonga. He remained in Alexandria working in a barber shop. The signs of the disease became more and more apparent, especially on his hands and face. Through the intervention of a priest, he went to Chios, where there was a church for lepers at the time. The priest was Father Anthimos, later known as Saint Anthimos. Nicholas arrived in Chios in 1914 at the age of 24. In the leper hospital of Chios, there was a chapel of Saint Lazarus, where the wonder-working icon of Panagia Ipakoli was kept. In this space, the course of virtues was open for Nicholas. Within 2 years, Saint Anthimos considered him ready for angelic schema and tonsured him with the name Nikiforos. Saint Nikiforos lived with genuine obedience to his spiritual father. He also lived with strict fasting and worked in the gardens. During his time in Chios, he recorded the miracles of Saint Anthimos, which he had witnessed with his own eyes. There was a special spiritual relationship between Saint Anthimos and Saint Nikiforos. Saint Nikiforos prayed at night for hours, making countless medanias. He was the master chanter of the temple too. Because of his illness, he slowly lost his sight, so he chanted the Troparia and the epistles from memory. The Chios Leprosarium was closed in 1957, and the remaining patients, including Saint Nikiforos, were sent to Saint Barbara's Home for Lepers in Athens. At this time, his eyes were completely distorted by the disease. While at St. Barbara's Home for Lepers, crowds of people would gather in the cell of the leper St. Nikiforos and obtain his prayer. St. Nikiforos reposed on January 4th, 1964, at the age of 74. After 3 years, his holy relics were exhumed and found to be fragrant. There were many cases recorded where miracles occurred by calling on St. Nikiforos to intercede with God. The life of St. Nikiforos was a brilliant example and model for everyone. He was pleasing to God because of all the things he endured.
Next to God who honored you, Nikiforos, you do stand with boldness now, like the 10th leper who returned in great thanksgiving and gratefulness, so as is fitting. We honor your